Hello and welcome to this lecture in the IBM Cloud Foundation Skills Series. Other than the following summary lecture, this is the last looking at the services that are provided on the IBM Cloud. Again, I'm not going to go into minute detail of each service. I'm merely going to try and give you a feel for what each service is in a 30-second or so summary. And of course, I'm breaking this down into several videos. So if you've seen the previous videos, then you'll have seen there's lots of other services. If not, then maybe you'd like to go back and see those. Okay, so this video, which as I said is the last one and should be relatively short, is going to concentrate on starter kits and web and mobile services that are available in the IBM Cloud, as well as drawing your attention to other services that I've not mentioned in these videos so far. So beginning with starter kits, and the idea of a starter kit is to provide a really solid basis for starting out on developing an application by providing a kit of elements. So that could be an application runtime in the language of choice, plus some other services like a database or some analytics tools, for example. So the first one we have is the Internet of Things Starter, and this provides lots of tools to get going with an IoT application, such as the IoT platform, Node-RED, which is a really great tool for creating applications with minimal code, and a cloud and database. Then we have a number of Java-based starter kits, with a couple for building out microservices and another for building a web app with Java and Spring. We have a starter kit for building mobile applications, and that includes a starter application plus some analytics and push services. Then we have kits for developing Node.js applications, so that's a web app and a microservices application. Then we have a number of Python-based starter kits, so that's with Flask for building a web app or microservices, and then to build a web app with Python and Django. We have one for Swift and Katura. Okay, so next we have some IA starter kits. So we've got one for creating a Watson Assistant, another for creating a basic Watson natural language understanding application, and another for a visual recognition application. And lastly, we have a Node-RED starter kit. And again, Node-RED is a really simple but powerful tool for developing applications with very little code. And if I get the chance, I'll be showing it off a bit later on in this series. Okay, so next we have web and mobile services. So we've got App ID, and this is a means to simply add user authentication and user profiles into applications, which saves an awful lot of coding. We've got App Launch, which is a service that allows app owners to control releases and launch features of mobile applications, pretty much to targeted users. So basically the owner using this service can roll out a change to a set of users, see how the change fares, and then either roll it back or roll it out, depending on the feedback, without actually impacting on all users. So it's a good way to test new features. Next, Mobile Foundation is a whole development ecosystem for mobile apps. So there's lots of tools and services in there, such as cognitive and AI, as well as developer frameworks. So you can use these to put together great mobile applications. The push notification service allows you to, send push notifications to mobile devices and web applications. And again, you can send these to just one user, a segment of users, or broadcast to all of them. And we have weather company data, and again this appears in I think 3 places in the catalogue, and it's a set of APIs which allow you to use historic, current or forecast weather data in your applications, which can be useful if you need to predict trends or base sales on weather data, or perhaps allocate resources based on a forecast. Okay, so I mentioned in video 1 of this section that there were well over 100 services on the IBM Cloud. Now, if you look through the catalogue and compare it to the services I've talked about, you may think I've missed some out, and that's because I've not mentioned all of the third-party services that are available. So those are services which other companies have made available through the IBM Cloud, and you can see a fair number of those on this screen at the moment. There's also a number of beta services, and I've covered a number of these, but essentially those are services which are at a beta stage. So they're likely to become standard services in the near future, but they may change before then. So use them with a bit of caution in your applications. And we also have experimental services. Now with these again, feel free to use them, but with real caution, because they may not make it through to become beta services, let alone standard services, and may disappear without any warning. Okay, so that's the end of this section, and that covers all the services too. The next video is a summary, which will be very short, so feel free to move on to that when you're ready.